The Big Bang Theory Season 5 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you're not caught up to the point where I am in rewatching, you're watching The Big Bang Theory, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description for you. If that happens to be the case, you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any sort of spoilers I may talk about. This would be The Big Bang Theory Season 5, Episode 15. The title of this episode is called The Friendship Contraction. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So Sheldon goes into Leonard's room while he's sleeping in the middle of the night and plays the hazardous tone on his phone. That would be at like a power plant, which of course wakes Leonard up, and it's catastrophe training. It's a drill. Leonard has to pick a card, and that will give him a scenario. This scenario is a earthquake. Interesting. Howard at lunch the next day has a press release from NASA on his phone, basically saying that Howard's going to go on a space trip at some point, and Raj says he needs to pick a nickname, but Howard says the other astronauts choose that nickname. Sheldon says Leonard didn't do well during the drill. Leonard says he's going to go home because he's tired, but Sheldon has a dentist appointment. But under Section 37B of the roommate agreement, he's obligated to take Sheldon to that dentist appointment, and Leonard plainly says he's sick of the roommate agreement. You're sick of the roommate agreement. It's the greatest thing on the face of the earth. So Leonard ends up signing something that ends most of the roommate agreement, and Sheldon is late coming back to the apartment due to the bus continuing to pick up other people instead of just Sheldon. And nobody wants to help Sheldon with his random tasks. Sheldon goes to the comic book store, and Sheldon mentions to Stuart that he's his 9th favorite person. Stuart's shrink just killed himself and blamed Stuart in the note. So Sheldon asks Stuart to take him to the dentist, but Stuart's working and can't take Sheldon to the dentist and wouldn't want to regardless. Raj gives Howard some nickname suggestions. Power goes out at the apartment. Penny says she has some candles. Penny says she's got wine and bubble wrap at her house, so Leonard goes over to Penny's as he doesn't want to reinstitute the roommate agreement. Sheldon tells Leonard and Penny that he's making s'mores, and Leonard says he's good. Penny actually feels bad for Sheldon, and then Leonard tells Sheldon he needs to say thank you when he does something for him. So he'll do some things for Sheldon going forward, but he wants some appreciation. And the power to the building went out because someone had flipped the switch in the basement. Good idea who that was. Howard has a video call with a guy from NASA, and he nicknames Howard Fruit Loop due to the fact that Howard's mom said something in the background. Howard, do you want some Fruit Loops or something like that? And that's what ends the episode. So it was funny stuff that Leonard eventually decided to go reinitiate the roommate agreement if Sheldon had like a Leonard Appreciation Day that's celebrated one day a year. So this was a pretty funny episode. I would probably give this episode, well, I'm not probably going to give it, I'm going to give it an 8.2 out of 10. I think there was some good lead up, but then it kind of fell flat. I mean, it didn't necessarily fall flat, but I think it could have been, I say this about every episode, it could have been a lot bigger, but they decided to kind of keep it even scale, so I'm going to give it an 8.2 out of 10. My character of the episode is obviously Sheldon, because the whole roommate agreement thing and him playing the hazardous noise during the the drill was pretty hilarious. And then my rating of Penny, because I always rate Penny. For this one, she's still great, don't get me wrong, but for this one, I'm going to give Penny a 7.5 out of 10. So you've heard what I have to say. Now it's your turn. If you're a fan of The Big Bang Theory and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, smash that like button. You wouldn't believe it, but 5 more likes on a video really go a long way, and it really puts the video out to more people. Of course, 10 likes on a video would really help, 20 likes would help, but even 5 more. And I know a lot of people watch these review videos, so 5 more likes to start. That's all I'm asking for. Share the video with whomever you want. Put this video on any one of your preferred social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what you thought of this episode. Have you watched it lately? What would you give this episode as a score? I gave it an 8.2. Maybe you give it a lower score. Maybe you give it a higher score. Who's your character of the episode? And if you want to rate Penny based on how she looks on this episode, because that's the reason why I started watching The Big Bang Theory, you can go ahead and do that on it as well. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.